morning, I'm Frank Powers, and this is Lifestyle Tucson, the program where I speak to our neighbors, the people behind the scenes of our amazing organizations that are 501c3 nonprofits. Our friends are informing you how they serve our community, and they're here to give you updates on future projects. Let's make some new friends today. It's a mysterious and spooky and altogether ooky episode of Lifestyle Tucson today as SAGUARO City Music Theater presents The ADDAMS Family. This delightful, twisted, comical musical will have you laughing and gasping as we follow Wednesday Addams falling for a charmingly normal young man and asking her father Gomez to help keep a secret from Morticia. When the Addams family hosts his perfectly proper parents for dinner, Uncle Fester meddles, chaos ensues, and the rest of the clan adds their signature mischief. And hang on a second, breaking news. Breaking news, a new chapter for the burger begins. That's right, SAGUARO City Music Theater has signed a 1-year lease agreement with ASDB to manage, operate, and book rentals at the burger until June of next year. My goodness, that's right. It happened just this week. SAGUARO City Music Theater is honored to partner with the Arizona State Schools for the Deaf and the Blind to manage, operate, and book rentals at the Burger Performing Arts Center, ensuring this beloved venue remains open, accessible, and thriving for artists, audiences, educators, and community organizers across Tucson. Well, let's meet this crazy family and the fun folks taking care of all of us here in Tucson by keeping the Burger Performing Arts Theater here to stay for a little while longer. We'll see how it goes. We better support them all year long. I'm fortunate to speak with Dina DiGiacinto, choreographer at SAGUARO City Music Theater for the ADDAMS Family. Welcome back to Lifestyle Tucson.
Thank you, Frank. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Congratulations on what you're doing. We're going to talk all about it.
Thank you so much. It's very exciting.
Can you believe that you're doing this? Is it?
No, because people keep saying, "Oh my gosh, congratulations on you guys." You're running a theater, and I'm like, "Wow, we're running a theater." That's amazing.
It is amazing.
Very exciting. We're super passionate, as you know, about keeping this art space open and accessible, not just for SAGUARO City, but for all the other folks in town that want to use it, that want to go see shows there, all of that kind of stuff. So we're about to kind of enter a new era of theater stuff.
Yeah, right here in Tucson. So let's get all the details in a little bit after we meet our new friends here, because we've got some cast of characters here from the ADDAMS family. Joining me, one of the ADDAMS ancestors right here across the way, Minka. Minka, welcome to Lifestyle Tucson.
Thank you.
So let me ask, Minka, how old are you?
I'm 12, turning 13 in July.
All right, 12, turning 13. Here we go. Young talent. I'm very excited. Right here in the middle, though, is my man in the middle, Max. Max playing Pugsley Addams. Max, how are you doing here today? Actually, a creaky microphone, perfect for the ADDAMS family. How you doing, Max?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing very well. I'm very excited to talk to all of you. Very talented. How old are you, young man?
I'm 13 years old.
13 years old. Very exciting. We're going to talk about you and your experience with SAGUARO City, as well as another friend here. Pass that microphone down the way. Creaky, there it goes. It's Brandon. Brandon, also an ADDAMS ancestor here for the ADDAMS family. Brandon, how are you doing today?
Good. What about you?
Oh, good as well. And I am doing well. So let me ask you, how old are you?
I'm 11, almost 12.
11, almost 12. So a good little group of kids here, or a good group of big kids here, really. So I'm so excited to talk to you all about your experience in the theater, everything going on with the ADDAMS family. I think as you walked in here, you were just talking about some other appearances you're going to make over the next few weeks, showing up at Bookman's one day, showing up at, was it Reed Park another day? So it's not just going to be this one performance, because this is one of the ones that happens on just one weekend at the Burger Performing Arts Center, June 26th through the 28th. Tickets are only $1.50. My goodness, tickets for kids accompanied by an adult are free, just that $1.50 surcharge, and up to $37 for those great seats. You can get them over at saguarocity.org/tickets. You can also buy tickets over at Bookman's for 10% off, but there's all the stuff. That's all that stuff we got to. Now let's get to the fun. All right, Dina, I can't believe what you've done here. Tell me all about what you're feeling right now, because now, yes, you're going to be leasing out the Burger Performing Arts Center over the next year. So that's an exciting thing that you've done. How did it come to this? Because I remember it got announced that the Burger Performing Arts Center was going to go away. Explain what that actually meant, and now how you were able to come in and possibly save it, because we've got to support them over the next year for this dream to keep going on.
Thanks, Frank. So we found out in mid-January that the campus was closing of the Arizona Schools for the Deaf and Blind. The Berger Performing Arts Center is on that campus. And so, the news we got was this is all closing at the end of June. Of course, right away, we were very like, oh dear, this is going to be a big problem for Saguaro City because we do all of our productions at the Berger Performing Arts Center. We have enormous casts and we need accessibility because we do have performers of all abilities in our shows. And so the accessibility at that theater is pretty unique in terms of like what's available in Tucson and the size of it. At first, we were sort of like, unsure of what the future would hold. But there's an amazing human named Ruben Rostenhauser he's been managing the Berger Performing Arts Center for quite some time. Mm-hmm. And he is just like, he was like, we have to keep this thing open. And I wonder if Saguaro City could help. So he kind of approached us and sort of was a little bit of a bridge between Saguaro City and ASDB and trying to like come together and work as a team to come up with an agreement where we would, at least for the next year, kind of take over running, managing, operating, booking out the Berger. And he did an amazing job because it all worked out. And ASDB and Saguaro City worked for a long time. It was like quite a road to kind of like figure out how to do this in a way that, was going to work for everybody. But we've had a lot of support behind us. It's a very important space to a lot of people, a lot of organizations aside from Saguaro City. So, we're definitely going to be relying on our community to kind of step up and help us out because it's quite a big adventure, quite a big new adventure that Saguaro City wasn't really planning on for this year. But we're ready to just tackle it and kind of get things going. We already have quite a few groups and organizations who are going to be renting the space from us over the next year, which is exciting because it's a lot of like returning groups that they've been having their events at the Berger Performing Arts Center. And so like we're so happy to be able to welcome them back in when they sort of had that same moment where it was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Like, for example, Kids Unlimited is going to be celebrating their 40th anniversary show in the fall of 2026. They had their very first show there 40 years ago. And so, it was especially exciting, to hear them kind of like get the news that, yes, we can actually do our 40th anniversary show at the Berger. Yeah. They're another pretty big organization that has a lot of young performers that need a big stage to perform on. So, yeah, we're excited. We're kind of navigating like the first and, the getting things going kind of steps right now. But anybody who needs a space to hold their event, reach out to Saguaro City. We are ready to talk and happy to welcome you into this amazing space over the next year. We're very excited to be able to kind of help make sure that this space is going to remain accessible to the community over the next year. It's
so important. And again, the Berger Performing Arts Center is located at 1200 West Speedway Boulevard. So make sure you get all the details and all the information. Go follow them over at saguarocity.org and look for all the information about this announcement. It was on all the news stations all week long, all the newspapers. It's in the magazines. Let's get a billboard because it's big, big news because you're a big, big deal because you've got all these great kids sitting right here waiting to talk all about what they do with you, which is really exciting. So now let me ask you kids, and I'll just go down backwards from where you are at. So what experience do you have with Saguaro City Music Theater? Because I think you've either seen a show or been in a show before. So let's start with you, Brandon. What is your experience with Saguaro City? What shows have you seen and or what shows have you been in?
Well, there's two. The first one has two reasons why it's special to me. It was the first time I ever really saw a play outside of what I've been in. And it was the first time that my parents actually, my parents that have adopted me actually took me out from my foster home. And I'd seen many others. I can't really name all of the ones that I've seen, but I was in Shrek last year.
That's amazing. And what did you do in Shrek last year? First of all, your story, very moving, more than you even realize, young man. But also Shrek, one of my favorite ones that they've put on. And you were in Shrek? What did you play in Shrek?
I was part of the ensemble.
Yeah. And do you remember the first one you saw that goes with your story? What was the first play that you saw?
It was Matilda.
Oh, you saw Matilda was the very first one that you saw? Mm-hmm. Amazing. What do you remember most from seeing Matilda?
Just seeing all of the actors working together and not knowing that someday I might be like one of them and might be helping some of them.
I can't even stand it. I love interviewing children. You're the best. What a great answer again. So good, Brandon. Keep it up. All right. I'm so excited. What are you excited about now being in the Addams family, where you are going to be playing an Addams ancestor? What are you most excited for the Addams family?
Well, making new friends and being in a new group with new people.
Always a number one answer. Survey says a number one answer when it comes to the kids of Saguaro City is making new friends is an important part of all these ensembles, these camps, getting involved. And that's why you should probably get your kids involved. That's the spirit. But now let's keep on going down the line. Max, right there in the middle. Grab that mic. All right. Let's talk to Pugsley Addams. I'm so excited. So how excited are you? And what is your experience with Saguaro City Music Theater? What shows have you seen and what shows have you been in?
I'm incredibly excited for the Addams family. I have seen Matilda, Susie Cole, and My Fair Lady.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, those were really, really cool to watch.
Yeah.
I just loved everything. I just liked how it all really came together. And, yeah, I just really liked the finished product.
Yeah.
And I have been in one summer camp and one show at Saguaro City. I was in Shrek, and I played the Big Bad Wolf.
Oh, right. There you go.
And I was also in Annie and played an ensemble.
Okay, and Annie was just the one you wrapped up. That was the most recent one. How was Annie? And I'll even ask Dina, what did you, because I always usually do this, like, oh, you just finished Annie. What was one of your favorite memories from Annie, just putting on the show?
I don't have to think twice about that. Watching the orphans do Hard Knock Life.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. It was one of the most thrilling theatrical moments of my whole life. I could start crying right now.
Oh, my goodness.
So cool. They were so, just committed to telling the story with so much heart and energy and commitment. It was, mind-blowing to me.
Makes my day.
So proud of them.
Heck yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. And you've done a bit of acting around more than just Saguaro City, because it looks like you were doing some fun stuff. You were in Ragtime for Arts Express. And you were in Scrooge. Who did you play in Scrooge for Arizona Theater Company?
I played ensemble, and I also played the part of, it's still ensemble, but I played this part called Turkey Boy.
Yeah.
It's still ensemble.
Look, listen here, Turkey Boy. Okay, there's no small roles. And that's the point, is that I'm a sketch comedy group. I do fun sketch comedy stuff. My favorite thing is to be an extra or just have one line. That's all. When it comes to being live on stage, I get a little nervous, right? So having one line is all I need. If I can just nail that one line, I feel really good. But I love being an extra in the background. I love helping out by just getting in there, getting involved, being a smaller role or several small roles, because I like wearing costumes. So that's kind of fun too. So that's the idea, is that any part that you play, that's what gets you ready to now. You got a pretty big role as Pugsley Addams, right?
Yeah, it's going to be really fun.
How much experience do you have with the Addams family? Because there's a couple of movies from the 90s. There's the TV show from back in the day in black and white. And also Wednesday Addams has a brand new show on Netflix. There was also a cartoon in the 90s, and it's famously a comic strip. I'm a cartoonist. It started as a famous comic strip. So many amazing mediums for the Addams family. And now here we are on stage. How much of the Addams family have you seen in the past?
Okay. I started watching Wednesday, and just while I was watching it, I got busy, and I could never finish it. And I also got 2/3 of the way done with Addams Family before something else popped up again, and I'm still yet to finish it.
Well, you're young. You'll get to these goals.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, it's hard. Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta watch these things in snippets sometimes, but that is what it is. Again, fun movies. I love them. And really, if you have time to watch some of these movies, again, Addams Family Values as well. The sequel was a good time as well. Those fun movies from the 90s are good. If you can check out the cartoon, I bet it's on YouTube. But there are comic strips. So go look up the original comic strips, because I'm a cartoonist, so I draw comic strips. So the Addams Family was like a macabre comic strip before it became anything else. It was a scary comic strip. So that's kind of fun. Let's also now move down the line. Minka, my creaky haunted microphone. Minka, you are part of the Addams family as far as one of the ancestors, but also what is your experience with Saguaro City Music Theater? What shows have you seen and what shows have you been in before?
Yeah, I'm so excited for the Addams family. Before I came to Saguaro City, I saw Matilda, Willy Wonka, The Wizard of Oz, and My Fair Lady. and they were all so good. It was so put together and so fantastic. The actors and actresses did so amazing, and I just could not think, I did not have a thought in my mind that I was going to be up there one day.
Really?
Yeah, it was so cool to see that. And then last summer, I came to Shrek, and I was in that ensemble. And then I did Alice in Wonderland with a part of Saguaro City. And then I did Annie. I was in the orphan ensemble for
There you
Annie.
go. Heck yeah, that's amazing. Adding those credits nonstop. That's right. That's what you got to do. That's so exciting. So now, how familiar are you with the Addams family? Like, how much have you seen of the Addams family?
I think I've seen a couple of the movies. How many movies are
There are only a couple, I think.
Yeah, I think I've seen maybe all of them. And then I just recently watched the whole series of Wednesday Addams.
There you go.
And I really love it so much. It's so cool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I'm on like season 1, and then the same thing. I fell off a little bit too. You know, we got a lot of stuff to watch in our queue.
Yeah.
What can you do?
It's so good.
Let me ask you kids now. I want to go back. We'll go back down the line. So now that you are seeing yourself, here you are. You're on stage. You've done it, right? As you're becoming like a young lady growing up. What are some of your now maybe dream roles? If you could pick a role, who do you think you'd want to play? What would you like to do? As far as like if you were going to star in one of these, who do you think you'd want to play?
In like any of these shows?
Anything.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
That's
and
such a hard question.
I know it's a lofty one. Or maybe you can even say that maybe it's just that you want to be in something that's like a real like nonstop musical or something that takes place in like it takes place in the 20s because you like the past.
Oh my gosh.
Or just something that is I don't know, interesting because there's a lot of interesting musicals out there now that are like the Addams Family's like the Beetlejuice musical, like where it's not just things as classic as My Fair Lady that gets made into musicals nowadays. They might make a Weird Al musical, I hear.
They might.
Yes.
Yep, you never know.
Right? Dare to Be Stupid, it might be called. I love it. That's my theme song.
Great
kids.
title.
What do you think?
There's so many, and that's such a hard question. But in My Fair Lady, I would love to play Eliza.
Yeah.
But there's so many more. I just want to explore the whole, like, just every show, and I just want to get to be in it instead of like really being the main character.
Yeah.
You know, maybe Dorothy
Yep.
is such a great character. Yeah, there's so many.
There's a lot. There's a
Not
lot.
sure.
All right, let's go back down the line. What about you, sir? Max in the middle. What other roles or what type of thing would you like to do when it comes to more stage stuff? And maybe what other characters do you think?
Does it have to be specific to Saguaro City?
No, just anything in general. Any play ever, anywhere, anything. Any show, something.
I would really like to either play Tobias or Sweeney Todd in Sweeney Todd.
Nice. There you
Yeah.
go. That's awesome. Do you think Saguaro City ever does Sweeney Todd? I don't know.
Well, it's tricky putting kids in Sweeney Todd.
Yeah,
but
right?
We could have our own version, I suppose.
There you go. That's wild. See, there you go. Oh, he's a thespian. A thespian. There you go. Go on down the line. What do you think, Brandon? Creaky microphones.
Well, I'm actually a storyteller, so if I had to choose, I'd choose Moon, one of the characters in my story. If one of my stories has ever turned into a musical, I'd be the first person to audition for my character.
Oh, there you go. So he's a playwright. That's what you want to do. So you don't even just want to play a character. You want to take on the whole thing and write. That's exciting. That makes my whole day. So yes, you should do that. You should keep making those characters and keep making your stories and keep writing your stories, right? And also, I'm going to say this again, just to push my own agenda. Think about making some of them into comic strips and then comic books, because any movie you've ever seen or even some of the stuff, part of the stage is you draft it. You just draft, you draw it out so you can kind of see how it's going to go, whether you're storyboarding a movie or coming up with a story in a play. All right, it's a good thing to think about drawing it out a little bit, and it's a good way to tell your stories. Yes.
You never asked me about how I discovered the Addams Family.
I was going to say we have to come back to that. So what is your familiarity with the Addams Family?
Well, my dad's want me to watch some of the old TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
So first they started me on the Munsters, but then I was exploring with my dad in his closet looking at some of his lunch boxes.
Okay.
When I came across one of his those little wobbly head guys.
A bobblehead.
Yeah, bobblehead.
Yes.
Well, and it was Cousin It.
It was a Cousin It bobblehead, yes.
Then I said, what show is that from? And then that's how I got started. I'm not even finished with it.
Yeah.
Now I just watch the regular one.
Okay, there you go.
Black and white one.
Yes, the black and white one. See, you're a classic. Okay.
But I started with the Munsters.
That's the spirit. The Herman Munster, I'm a big fan because I'm a fan of Frankenstein. All right, that's my favorite. I love Wolfman, Dracula, all these
Eddie
classics.
Munster.
Yeah, you like Eddie Munster? You seem like an Eddie Munster. All right, that's the spirit. I love talking to kids. They're so inspiring. So now let's inspire some other kids, because that's the thing. You all went there and you were all audience members once at a point, but then you couldn't even believe that you would do this one day, and now here you are doing it. So now why don't we try to inspire some other kids to join Saguaro City Music Theater and or just join the arts by becoming young actors and or young playwrights and directors. So what inspiring words do you have? I'm going to tell you what, move that. We're going to start with Max right now, and then we'll go left and right again. Max, what do you think? Give me some inspiring words for kids on why they should maybe think about going on stage.
I think that theater is really important in everybody's life, even if you don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that just theater, it's so inclusive, and it's what's one of the most important things that go into theater is collaboration, and you can make so many good friends while doing it, and you really just get to be whoever you want on stage. And everything that goes into theater is just fun.
Ah, keyword.
Yeah.
A good keyword. I'll tell you what. So if you want to have fun, everything goes into theater. Fun, but also making friends. Very important. All right. Good advice. All right, let's pass it back to Brandon now. I'm going in every different direction. That's what I like to do. Creak it on over. All right, Brandon, you're young and wise. Tell us why, as other children, why should other kids join Saguaro City Music Theater and think about acting and getting on stage and or creating things like you want to create, like you create your characters, just being a creative person?
Well, have you ever been one of those kids to just share your ideas of a game or something with your friends? Do you ever want to turn that into something new? And to act, well, if acting is for you, it proves that you are you, and you can't lose that. Show that you're an actor, and show that you're an actress. But every actor and actress needs to find who they are as an actor or actress.
Amazing. I can't even stand it. Okay, you're setting records here with your great answers. My goodness. I'm not even hamming it up. I want to applaud, and I will at the end. But first, Minka, let's keep it going. What words of advice do you have for anyone out there that wants to get on stage or get involved or become an actor or actress?
I think in theater, it's just everybody gets a little bit nervous. And when you get nervous, I think Saguaro City and every theater company there is will support you and never judge you for when you're nervous or when you get up on stage and if you mess up. And I think it's just so great that you always will have an audience or best friends that will always encourage you to try again and never give up. And that's something that I love so much about theater, that it's so inclusive and it's just never about being better or being the best version. I mean, of course you have to try, but you can't always be the best,
Sure.
And so I think that's what you should always try to get into theater, because there will always be people behind you backing you up.
Yeah. It's more of a team sport than people realize, isn't it? It's
Absolutely.
a big group that gets things done. My favorite thing, I say it with anything, my favorite thing is when a ragtag group of kids gets together and puts on a show, and that's what you do all the time, and that's what's so great about you. down there at Saguaro City. So if you want to get the details, go to saguarocity.org/tickets. Go get those tickets over at Bookman's. You'll save 10%. Go follow them over on social media. I believe it's at SAGCityAZ on Instagram. You'll find them on Facebook because you want to make sure that you don't miss all the other appearances they're making all these weekends leading up to the big weekend when it's all happening here in June on the 26th through the 28th at the Burger Performing Arts Center, nowhere else, because they saved it. So let's support them by getting involved and getting our tickets to this great show. It's the Addams Family. Kids, I got to ask you one last question. Do you know can you snap your fingers or can you not? Let me ask. You can snap fingers? You can try? Okay, we'll try it all at the end. We're going to try. Get your fingers by those microphones and we'll do it as a group. Because today we made friends with Dina DiGiacinto, as well as our young friends and young actors. It was Minka, Max, and Brandon, starring in the Addams Family. I can't wait to go see them, and you should too. It's going to be a good time. Let's try to do it right now. Go and see them, starring in the Addams Family. Da-da-da-da. There they go. It's going to be a good time. Thank you all so much for joining me here today.
Thank you, Frank. What a ball.
This was Lifestyle Tucson. Bing bong bing, time for a recap. My goodness. My favorite episodes of Lifestyle Tucson are interviewing the kids of Saguaro City Music Theater. But boy, this really was something special. Brandon's answers and just his life story, I bet, is going to wind up being pretty impressive and something. Maybe even a play itself, since that's his goal. So I am so excited to see this one because, boy, the kids here, they really do so much good work, but don't they just charm you with their just outlook and really remind you of what it's like to be a kid and how important it is to make new friends and get out there and do things you don't necessarily want to do, but getting on stage is really good for you. And it's a really good challenge because you do get a lot of support. This is me putting together all the advice because I just re-listened to this thing. And my word, I am so happy that I get the opportunity on Lifestyle Tucson to talk to all these great nonprofits, but especially when I get to interview kids. They are so wise, and it's really something to remind yourself of, because when you get older, some of that it gets a little harder to believe in some of that stuff and even believe in yourself. It's really important to support your kids and support their dreams and their goals. So maybe Saguaro City is the place for them. Again, if you're listening to this and you got grandkids out there, you got nieces and nephews, you got kids yourself, I would maybe look into it because it sounds like it's super fun. They put on like several big shows a year. The camps are going on now, but it's really a great organization. And look what they've done by reaching out and figuring out how to keep the Burger Performing Arts Center alive for everyone here in Tucson. So let's get involved and get our kids involved because what a great, great organization they truly are. So thank you to everyone at Saguaro City. Congratulations to Dina and Drew as they support the Burger Performing Arts Center. Make sure you support them by going and checking out this amazing show. Burger Performing Arts Center is at 1200 West Speedway, and you can go find all the information over at saguarocity.org and follow them at SAGCityAZ. But the big important date to remember is June 26th through the 28th, because that is the one weekend that you can see the Addams Family. Da-da-da-da. A very fun time today on Lifestyle Tucson. So I want to thank our old friends at Saguaro City Music Theater for joining me today. You've been listening to Lifestyle Tucson. If you're a nonprofit that would like to be on the show, email lifestyletucson@gmail.com. For more information about this program or to listen to something you may have missed, go to the Sunday Mornings page on klpx.com, kfma.com, mixfm.com, or espntucson.com. You can also subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, and Audible, or wherever fine podcasts are mysterious and spooky. Follow on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Lifestyle Tucson, because I'm your BFF, your best Frank forever, Frank Powers. And Toot Toot Tucson, I love you the most.